Hello out there and welcome to my first video blog for collegesportsmadness.com by way of YouTube. My name is Zach Bai and I'm one of the broadcasters for the football and basketball programs at the University of Albany. Today I'm going to be talking about the FCS playoff picture as it pertains to the Northeast Conference, or otherwise known as the NEC. So with 2 weeks left in the college football season, there's only two teams that have a realistic shot of earning that automatic bid into the FCS playoff bracket. And those two teams are the Wagner Seahawks and the UAlbany Great Danes, tied for first place atop of the NEC right now. So let's talk about what each school needs to do moving forward to get that automatic bid. Wagner's scenario is very simple. They have the tiebreaker against Albany from this past weekend's 30-0 drubbing at University Field. So the tiebreaker goes to Wagner. The only thing that they need to do is win one more regular season game against Duquesne. Well, you say, hey, if they're tied at the top of the conference and there's 2 games left, why did they just need to win one more game? Because this coming Saturday's game against Holy Cross is a non-conference game. So hypothetically, they could lose that game 50-0 and it wouldn't have any bearing on their FCS playoff future. Win that final game in Staten Island on Hamline Field, the home of Wagner football, and they are sailing into the sunset. Get your name in the bracket, and they've accomplished their goal. Albany, on the other hand, is a little bit more tricky. They have 2 conference games left against Duquesne, at Duquesne in Pittsburgh this Saturday, followed by a home game against Central Connecticut. They would need to win both of those remaining regular season games and hope that Duquesne beat Wagner the last game of the year and Albany would go into the playoffs. So what happens if Wagner wins against Duquesne and Albany wins their final 2 regular season games against Duquesne and Central Connecticut? The tiebreaker would say that Wagner gets in. But there's a loophole that could get Albany into the FCS playoffs. Not that it's the most likely scenario, but it is noteworthy. If Albany should win their next 2 games, they'll be co-champions, alright, and Wagner will go with the automatic bid. But with a 9-2 record, which is pretty gaudy, and some quality non-conference wins at CAA opponent Maine, which they beat the Black Bears by double digits, and at Patriot League foe Colgate, who's making noise in their own right. Albany beat Colgate by double figures. So those are quality non-conference wins. And their one non-conference loss came at Youngstown State, who at the time was ranked 5th in the country. And that game they lost by 1 score. So we could see for the first time in the history of the Northeast Conference 2 teams representing the NEC in the playoff bracket format that goes on in FCS football. What's the only way to find out for sure? It's just simply wait and see what happens in the coming weeks. Like I said, it does not matter for Wagner this week. It does matter this week for Albany. They need to take care of business against Duquesne and Central Connecticut and see what happens with Wagner. And then, if they should both win, they'll leave it up to the Coaches Association and the folks that are on that selection committee to see if 2 NEC teams would get into the FCS playoffs. But buckle up and hang tight, because there's still 2 weeks of football to be played, and make sure you come back to this video blog on collegesportsmadness.com for more updates on how the playoff picture is developing as the dust settles. I thank collegesportsmadness.com for having me. I'm Zach Bai. I hope I see you soon.